And I'll just go over how to use the WebEx webinars platform in case anyone's unfamiliar. So first, you can turn on closed captioning by clicking on the CC button at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen if you wish to do that. You can also change what you're looking at, or what it looks like to you at least, using the layout button in the top right-hand corner of your screen. You can raise your hand or do a thumbs up by clicking either the hand or smiley face buttons at the bottom center of your screen. But please note that in this version of the platform, you can't unmute yourself. So if you have a question at the end that you would prefer to speak aloud, you can just raise your hand and I'll do my best to notice that and unmute you at the time. And there will be time for questions at the end of the session. And finally, you can access the chat at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. And as I said, there will be an opportunity for questions at the end of the session, so you can feel free to type your questions in the chat then. And with that, I'm going to stop sharing and turn it over to Justin.
Thank you, Chelsea, for inviting me here today. I'm always excited for opportunities to talk about SkillsBuild. As Chelsea mentioned, my name is Justin Burchart, and I'm a Digital Success Manager with IBM Canada. I'm part of our Corporate Social Responsibility team and support our SkillsBuild for Adult Learners program across the country. I am based in Ontario, although as I prepared for this event, I often found myself daydreaming of the time my family spent in St. John's and Bell Island last summer. I would have loved to have been able to be there in person today. But before I spend too much time thinking about summer, let me cover the objectives of today's call, and there are two. I want to introduce you to SkillsBuild, and then show you how to use it so you can begin your own learning journey. And one note, and Chelsea's kind of alluded to this a little bit, is there's going to be some time for questions at the end. And if you are not already registered on the platform, just please be patient. We will share those details at the end of the call today. In terms of an agenda, it's quite simple. I'm going to limit myself to about 1 minute speaking about IBM and then spend the rest of the time focused on SkillsBuild. Primarily in the format of a live demo. I'll be sharing my screen, showing you the platform itself. So at the conclusion of the call, you're ready to begin using it. Okay, so let's get started. So just very high level, for those of you that are not familiar, IBM is a global provider of hybrid cloud and AI and consulting expertise. IBM's over 100 years old now, and our history includes commitments to trust, transparency, responsibility, inclusivity, and service. We know that technology is changing jobs, and in 2021, IBM unveiled a groundbreaking commitment and a global plan to provide 30 million people of all ages with the new skills needed for the jobs of tomorrow by 2030. We have a comprehensive education portfolio to approach the diverse needs of learners and aspiring professionals, regardless of their background. SkillsBuild is part of this portfolio. Our education efforts are focused on education equity and workforce diversity. We partner with key stakeholders in the public and nonprofit sectors by providing IBM expertise and technology, along with a commitment to support the students and aspiring professionals at scale to ensure that all learners can participate in the modern workforce. Last year, we announced our partnership with Memorial University to support skills development for the MUN community and residents of Newfoundland and Labrador, which brings us to today. So what is SkillsBuild? So SkillsBuild is a free education program focused on underrepresented communities in tech that helps adult learners and job seekers develop valuable new skills. The core of it is an online platform that offers over 1,000 different learning activities in a number of different languages and on topics that include things like cybersecurity, data analytics, cloud computing, and other technical subject areas. But it also includes professional and workplace skills, such as design thinking. There's the opportunity to earn IBM branded digital credentials with your learning. And I will reiterate that although we are a tech company and tech is our niche, you do not need to have a background in tech to learn on the platform. You will find that much of the content is introductory, exploratory, and foundational. And I also want to reiterate that it includes both technical and professional skills learning activities that I am going to show you throughout the demo. So I am now going to share my screen, get into the platform itself. Okay, and then maybe just with a thumbs up, just so I know that my screen is visible.
So far, it looks like it's starting to work, Justin, but it's
Starting to work. Okay.
still just seeing that you're starting to share your content. So just give it another
Okay.
minute, maybe.
All right.
It's being extra slow today. Maybe stop sharing and try one more time.
All right.
Oh, that's perfect. I can see that at
Okay.
least.
Good. Okay. Okay, so as I mentioned, the registration details are going to be shared at the end of the webinar if you're not already on the platform. What you're seeing is the main landing page, and this is where you will, every time you log on, you will start. The first time you log in, you'll be asked to complete a short profile, which is really about your learning interests, and that is going to feed some of the recommended learning that is suggested to you. And that can be changed at any time. I'm going to show you where you can do that. So talked a little bit about it in the intro, but some of the key components of the platform include the content, which is tech and professional skills. Professional skills we do acknowledge, and we spend a lot of time on them internally as well. Especially as you grow your career, that quite often the professional skills can become more important, say the technical or the hard skills. So we do include a mix of those. Um, some of the learning content is organized into some existing learning pathways or recommended learning around specific job areas. There is credentials that are available, which I'll touch on. There's IBM and non-IBM learning content here. So there's the content, we have career assessments, and then there's a global community that learners can be part of as well. You will notice as I go through the demo, there's a couple of different ways that you can get to the same area in the platform. So quickly on the landing page, this gray rectangle in the upper left, that's going to be your personal dashboard. You can use that to, it'll document any of the achievements that you've made in terms of specific learning hours or credentials that you've earned. They are hyperlinked so that you can go back to look at specific activities you may have done at a previous time. And then we will touch on, there are some digital credentials available that are also tracked for you. The credentials are managed by a partner, Credly, and they're digital, meaning that once you've successfully completed the learning related to a credential, and just as an example, if you see this cybersecurity fundamentals, that's what the credentials look like, or one example of them. Being digital, you can post them, you can share them with a prospective employer, or you could post them on a LinkedIn profile. So maybe to get started, Chelsea, maybe we'll start with try one of the polls. You can, and we'll try the technology one.
Sure.
And what Chelsea's going to put up as a poll, just to kind of get a gauge of maybe what some of maybe the technical topics that individuals are interested in. I'll just give a minute to try that. And I'll try to incorporate that as I go through the demonstration.
Results are starting to come in. We'll give folks another minute here to reply. Still waiting on a couple more. We've got the majority now, so I'll close that and
I think it looks
share
like
share
data.
the results. Hold on a minute.
Perfect.
Can you see those results, Justin?
Yeah, I can. So it looks like
Perfect.
data was probably the highest, followed by T. Okay, that's perfect. That's great. Thank you, everyone. Let's try, and I'm going to give a quick overview. I'm going to just show you quickly how the search works. I'll use data as an example. So fairly intuitive. I've just put it into the search bar, and it will bring up a number of different results on that topic area. You'll notice at the top it's got something that's called calling it a learning plan. So a learning plan is a collection of learning activities, and in some cases, this is one. All the activities under this learning plan would qualify you to earn a digital credential at the end. And so just scrolling down, you can see some of the search results starting to come up. So you'll have a little bit of a description, a title, an estimated duration. So I'm now down into the learning activities. As you scroll down, this one is an example of a video, data science versus big data. It's got a duration of 1 minute, 40 seconds. You can see how many individuals have completed it, and then 1,000 learners have left a rating of 4 out of 5 stars for this particular one. If it looks like something you might be interested in, you can click on it. You can sometimes they'll have a little bit more of a description if anybody's left any comments, and then a little bit of history about what that particular learning activity is, how long it's been on the platform. That the content is continually being refreshed. If you were interested in, if you liked what you've read, you want to go through it, you can go to this activity. And in this case, it's taking me to a YouTube video to learn this piece about the big data. I'm just going to close that. Oops. It looked like it shut my screen off. Give me 1 second. I don't think you can see anything there anymore, can you, Chelsea?
No.
No, okay. All right, let me just quickly go back in. Apologies for that.
No worries. We got a great view of a very idyllic looking lake for a minute.
Yeah. That's my happy place when things like this happen. Let me try to share this again.
Perfect. I can see it now.
Okay, perfect. So that was in the start of the search. Let's go back one screen. So that's an example. If you think of the way our learning is organized, we can have learning activities, which are the base, and then they can be curated in ways that can be either put into a learning plan or a learning channel. The data fundamentals plan, this will be another example I'll share. You'll see the plan has a collection. It's set up usually in the form of a journey. Whenever you see this icon or an icon like this, it means that there's usually a digital credential available with that. And so this data fundamentals plan, its expected duration is about 7 hours. And then you can see in the form of the journey that it has 5 courses, and then it's got the credential information. And so if you scroll a little bit further down, you can find out a little bit more about the plan, what you're going to learn. And then there's 5 different activities here, ranging from about 50 minutes to 2 hours that you would be able to cover. When you're navigating through the platform, whenever you see the IBM SkillsBuild logo, you can click on that, and it'll bring you back to the main landing page. As we scroll further down on the screen, you can see that there's a resume learning section. That's for when you're getting into some of these longer learning activities. You don't necessarily have time to finish them. This will populate automatically, so it's easy to find the learning that you have started, and you can go in to finish it that way. The next row down, this is what we call our spotlight. And this is where our global team will publish anything that's new, interesting announcements, highlight new offerings. So this fundamentals of sustainability and technology is brand new. I think it just went live on Tuesday. If you wanted to see some other announcements or spotlights, you can click just to the right as well, using either the buttons at the bottom or the arrows. Next section down, there's two optional activities here as well. So there's a SkillsBuild community, and this is an option that's available to any of our registered learners globally. So this is a global platform. We have learners around the world. And once you get into the community, you'll notice that there's a couple of different groups. So there's the kind of a general section, and then if there's a topic area that's of interest, you're able to go into that particular section or topic area. And depending on your experience, and what you've done before, maybe you're asking a question. If you've got a bit more of experience in the area, you may be contributing to a discussion or being able to offer guidance to somebody that is, inquiring about an area. The other section we have available are career assessments. So we work with another partner, My Inner Genius, and there's two levels of assessment. Through MUN, you actually have access to 3 levels of assessments. So the demo I'm showing you has 2, but there would be a third, more in-depth option available to you. The first one starts very basic. It's around your insights and preferences. This particular case, so it's asking you, do you like to work inside or outside? Do you have to be moving, or can you sit at it? Are you happy sitting at a desk? Once you've done it, you do get sent a PDF version of your report, so you can use that for any kind of self-assessment or insight into future careers. And then I guess the third level, so they range from probably about 10 minutes to about an hour to take for the last one. I'm just going to scroll up to the top. So just in terms of the top portions here, I'll come back to the recommendations section because I'll spend a bit more time there as it provides a lot of details around the content that's available. The progress tab includes a lot of links similar to the personal dashboard in terms of the history of your learning and the credentials. The search operates the very same as the search function that we looked at earlier. Help, there's a chat function here if you need support, as well as get support will put you in email contact with our global support team and an opportunity for feedback. And then just to the right with initials, that's where your profile is held. So you can change the you could change your initial preferences in terms of the your learning interests, as well as the user interface is available in a few different languages, and you can change your language there. So recommendations. So there's a couple of different ways. So based on your profile and history, you can get some recommended learning activities or recommended credentials. The featured jobs, I'm sorry, lost my pointer there. Featured jobs is a way to find recommended learning for a few topic areas. And just to show you what that looks like. So there's if you look at the tabs across the top, it could either be job focused, professional skills, technology skills. So if you click in a job area, just pick data because that was kind of follow that theme for the day. It'll bring up some suggested learning activities here that you can explore and peruse. If you wanted to look at learning activities in a different category, then you can just follow along the top there. just an example, professional skills. So professional skills, just to give you a sense of what's available. If you go into these, you'll see a kind of broad topics here. If you picked something like digital literacy, it'll bring up a selection of learning. Again, you could find these through the searches here. They've been grouped in under a topic area. This one has a few more available, so you can use the buttons or the arrows to navigate to the right to find the other suggestions. I can go back to the same. Jump down to the Explore Learning, because this gives, again, it's just another way to find content that's available. If you're already logged into the system, and this is where it will provide some learning as well as some brief overview of certain career fields. Pick the data. So if I go into the data, just crashed on me. Sorry. And a pause on that. What it would do, can you still see my screen, Chelsea? Okay. If I had gone into the Explore More Learning data, it'll talk a little bit about globally what the demand or outlook is in certain fields, and then it will again link you back into some of the recommended learning options that are available within the platform. Explore More Channels is a way I find really useful to get a sense of the content that's available if you're logging in the first time and you don't have maybe something specific that you're looking to necessarily start, because it will give you a sense of learning that's available across both the technical and the professional opportunities.
Nothing's loaded up here yet, Justin.
Yeah, okay. It's still going slow on my screen. Maybe while it's doing that, Chelsea, maybe we'll try the next poll.
Sounds like a good plan. Okay, I'll open that now.
And so this is a poll just to get a sense of now outside of the technical, if you think of professional skills areas, is there something that's of interest to you?
Maybe if you try refreshing the tab.
Yeah.
I don't know what the weather's like in Ontario, but it's been very foggy and rainy here, and I feel like, at least on my end as well, the technology is working just as well as the weather is.
Yeah, we've been pretty much the same. I think after lunch here today is we're supposed to finally start to see the sun again for the first time in about a week, it feels like.
Okay, we've got about half of the responses in. Maybe I'll close the poll and I'll show you the results.
Perfect timing.
Good. Looks like critical thinking went out just by a hair.
All right, perfect. Okay. Yeah, so a little bit more variety in terms of the options here. So I'll try to kind of touch on a couple of these as we go through here. Just going to make a note of those. So it looks like critical thinking with 4 and then a few with 2. I'll try to use those as a couple of examples just as I go through the Explore More channels here. If you have interest in these topic areas, then it's easy for you to find them afterwards. So we've got the channels, and it's similar to the tab we looked at with the Explore More Learning across the top. So it starts with some job-focused recommended learning. So there's a customer service, which does include a course on communication skills, personality dynamics. And because we're seeing that icon, by completing these activities, you can earn a credential in that way. Some of this learning we saw earlier in terms of the data fundamentals and artificial intelligence fundamentals, some big data foundations, etc. For those that were interested in design thinking, we actually have 2 badges available. We have a enterprise design thinking practitioner badge and an enterprise design thinking co-creator badge. I believe the practitioner badge is, I want to say 2 to 3 hours, and I think the co-creator is maybe 5 to 6, but takes you through the design thinking process. For individuals that were interested in project management, we do have a project management fundamentals credential available. So this is really, if you think of, working maybe as part of a team, starting to be interested in potentially a project management type role or certifications, this would be an introduction or an opportunity to explore project management. We'll introduce you to some of the key concepts, terminology, processes that way. And then just as I continue scrolling down, we're going to have them grouped in a couple of different ways. So we're going to have, again, technology skills. So if we see some of the topics here that we've seen kind of throughout some of the exploration that we've done, things like, range from quantum and blockchain to, cloud and cyber and data. There is also a design thinking channel here as well that you can explore. Sorry, I just want to note here is another popular one is agile methodologies for anybody that's working in that type of environment as well. Just one thing I did want to mention too, because I do often say that you don't have to have a tech background, but because we are all working and hearing about technology so much, one of our popular learning activities is this Explore Emerging Tech. I think it's about 6 hours, but it introduces you with about an hour each into, say, data, cloud, cyber, I think blockchain. So it includes a couple of introductory topics around tech. So you're not necessarily you're going to specialize in them, but just so that you're aware and you understand a little bit more about them. There is a section for small business owners. Again, it's a global program, but we do have a credential for entrepreneurs, which is really introduction to starting your own business. I will touch just at the very bottom, and I'll come back to the professional skills, is depending on the audience, there is a job readiness component as well. This gets used a lot when we're working with nonprofit or employment partners that are working with specific populations or helping find individuals not only develop skills, but then to ideally move into a first or a new career. So in this particular section, this is our professional skills channel listing. And so if I'll pick critical thinking, just to give you an example of what a channel itself looks like, be a little bit different than a plan. So again, all of the learning activities that will come up here, you could find on the search yourself, but here they're presented and collected in a way under a topic here, this one being critical thinking, that you can, so you can find it under that subject area. So within the channel, it'll tell you a little bit about what it is. Channels typically have somewhere between like 5 and 12 learning activities. And so you could go into the channel, you could take a look again. What are the activities that are available here, in terms of duration, title, completions, ratings, to help you select what you might want to pursue going forward. So that's what a channel looks like. And that would kind of conclude kind of the base or a quick overview. And then so maybe I'll pause here, Chelsea, just to see if there's some questions that you want that have come up so far, so I can spend some time addressing those as well.
Sure, thanks, Justin. If anybody has any questions, as I said, please feel free to use the chat. I'll also just keep an eye in case someone wants to speak their question out loud. You can use the raise hand function at the bottom of your screen, and I can unmute you. I have a question, actually. So as you were going through there, I noticed in the search. So some of um, some of the plans and channels had, as you mentioned, different credentials. So is there a big difference between, say, a badge and a certification, or a badge and a credential, or what's kind of the difference between all of them, and how did they help build your resume, I guess?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So it's an important question too. So a digital credential can represent a lot of different things. So it could be a badge, it could be a certification. Um, the certifications, and there are a couple of examples of certifications within the SkillsBuild platform. A certification tends to be more not necessarily learning based, but maybe role based, and as well as validated usually by a third party. So you're usually going into, say, a third party testing center
Okay.
to complete a certification. What we have available here for the most part are credentials, which, sorry, a digital credential more in the form of a badge, meaning that you've accomplished something in terms of your learning. In terms of certifications, I'll just to show you an example. I think it's in our cyber. And it's with a partner called Fortinet. So let's see if it shows up here. Actually, I know where I can find it. These network security associate certifications, they're done with Fortinet, and so you could follow those links through where at the end of the completing the learning here, you're actually you can qualify for a voucher to go do a certification.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I
good
see
question.
also, thank you. I see in the chat, Gina had a question about whether there was any content related to updating skills in the Microsoft suite.
It's a popular one. I don't know offhand. I'm going to try. When in doubt, I usually just try a live search. I could
Amazing.
a little bit. There's a couple of videos. So you notice that some of them too are coming up in French. So that's the other part. There is different languages available. Majority of the content is available in English, but you will see some activities that may only be offered in one or sometimes multiple languages. It looks to be predominantly around Teams.
Right. And someone did share in the chat a link through Microsoft as well. So Gina, I hope that answers your question. Samuel has a question. He asks, are there any topics related to healthcare?
Again, I'll see what comes up. So depending on what you might see is maybe not healthcare specific, but if you're interested in maybe the technology aspects to support healthcare, could be if there's specific topic areas that you could look at. Depending, I guess, maybe what way you're coming or what your maybe role or perspective is with regards to healthcare. It is an interesting one. We do have a mindfulness credential. It can be popular with certain partner organizations.
Yes, certainly the professional skills are very cross-applicable, I think. I guess I have another question, Justin. Maybe you could share a little bit more about the process. I know you went over it a little bit at the beginning, but the process for logging on for the first time, and maybe this is a good time for us to share the link to sign up through MUN.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Because it can, particularly if you're signing in with a MUN address, there can be, there's when you first sign on, and I think, are you going to put is it the link you're going to put into the chat?
I'll put it in the
So
chat here, yeah.
so if anyone is interested in trying some of the learning and they would like to sign up, it's all free learning. Is Chelsea's putting a link into the chat that has a form that the MUN team uses to register learners. Once you're registered, you'll receive a welcome email. I believe it comes from IBM SkillsBuild, and it will include a link that will bring you to the platform that we've been looking at here today. The first time you log in, as I mentioned, you're going to be asked to complete the profile. But before you get to that stage, you're going to be asked to log in. It gives you a couple of different login options. You can log in with Google, you can log in with a LinkedIn ID, and you can, the other popular one on the is an email ID, and often your MUN ID. So the key is to use the email address that you've registered with. So if you've registered with a MUN ID, make sure that's what you're logging in with. Typically, that's not a Google or a LinkedIn account. So what you would want to select is the login with email option. And then the first time you do that, you're going to have to create an email ID, meaning it's just linking a new password to your MUN email extension. And so if you just keep that in mind, is use the same email address that you register with or you submit with your registration, and then you're likely going to use the email ID option. And there's a little button underneath to sign in for the first time. Just follow that process.
Perfect. Thank you, Justin. And I see a little bit more activity in the chat here. Bev added to Samuel's question about healthcare. I guess when she did a search, she was able to come up with a couple of healthcare related topics through SkillsBuild, so that's
Okay.
fabulous. And Michael asks, are there any modules on stakeholder engagement?
Stakeholder engagement. Okay. When I hear stakeholder, I often think of design thinking. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't see a lot come up on that, but you could try sometimes different terms because sometimes the search can be very focused. But if you sometimes try different related terms, that can also change the search results. So if there's different aspects, if it's around communication or different components of stakeholder engagement, then something may come up that way.
Yes, or maybe even if you just typed engagement or something like that, or communication, certainly some of the communication stuff would be relevant.
Mhm.
Are there any other questions? Not seeing anything come in just yet. I wonder, Justin, if you could just take us again through. I know a lot of the questions have had to do with those professional skills. So I wonder if it's worthwhile just to do another overview of what some of those professional skills are.
Sure. Yeah. So again, you can search a couple different ways for specific topic areas, but I'll often find it easiest either going through the featured job roles or the explore more channels. Within the explore more channels, actually, it's a good point because sometimes I admit I go through it quite quickly. So it's under recommendations on the top. Explore more channels will bring you to the screen, and then it's just scrolling down to the section on professional skills. And again, I think we all realize how important these can be in any job or career. And so again, these, I guess, maybe just to reiterate, these are also not the only topics available. So you can try using sometimes these as your general search terms as well, because these have been a selection of grouped learning activities that there can sometimes be more available. They just haven't been put into the channel per se. So if you think of things like we talked about like critical thinking, leadership had come up. communication skills. Actually, I'll go in just to see if there's anything around stakeholder management, because we were kind of talking about that.
Yes, Bev again. Bev's a whiz, obviously, because she must have done a search and came up with several stakeholder related learning plans and courses. So,
Okay.
and I should say, everyone, that's Bev Morgan, and she's one of the project leads within Memorial University here, and I'll put her contact information in the chat. So if you have any further questions, you can certainly reach out to her. Okay. Are there any other questions? Is there anything else you wanted to cover, Justin?
I'm just thinking, I guess maybe two things. One, and I was just thinking of other popular questions that do come up, and we've actually covered most of them here. But one that does come up is there any limit to how much learning you can do? Or is there any time that it's not free? But there is no limit. We want as many people using it and benefiting from it as possible. The other part is that I would just say is the content does refresh from time to time. So um, the sustainability badge that we were looking at earlier is an example of something that's new. We're also looking to introduce more kind of a next level of topic in certain topic areas like data later this year. So that's something that you can keep an eye open for once you get on for the first time, that you will see new content introduced over time.
Excellent. I see one more question here in the chat. Ailsa asks, do you have any data on how well these credentials are received by employers or prospective employers?
That's a really good question. It's something we're starting to try to gather data on more now. A lot of the times we're working through partner organizations, and we don't always have visibility um, to necessarily to end users and what they've done around that. There is a lot of variability just in terms of what maybe the individual's background can be. So it's hard to or difficult to separate the credential piece, but something we're trying to get feedback on.
Excellent. Just scrolling through the chat here to make sure I haven't missed anything else.
Yeah, it just in terms of the credentialing piece, it's an interesting time because it is growing so much. Micro credentialing, across kind of all industries. Um, all countries, and trying to find ways to provide skills and training opportunities in small, digestible chunks, if you will. And so I do think it's relatively new, but there will be more coming on that for sure.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, in my area of work, which is patient-oriented research and training people on how to do patient-oriented research, even in that realm, we're starting to explore this idea of micro-credentials and badges and that sort of thing because people do a lot of learning, a lot of self-directed learning, and then it's kind of like they've done it and there's no recognition that they've done it, and they can say that they've done it, but they've got no proof, and so I think people are starting to there's a hunger for that kind of validation. I'm not seeing any other questions coming through in the chat here, no hands up. So if you don't mind, Justin, maybe I'll take back over and share my screen
Sure.
once more.
Yeah, I'll just say thank you to everybody for joining today. Um, Happy to be able to give you a few minutes back over your lunch hour, and just appreciate you taking the time to participate. Hope you found something useful that you might consider exploring. And um, yeah, thank you for participating. It was a pleasure to be here.
And thank you very much for coming. I've put Justin's email address in the chat there as well as my own. So if there are questions that that do come in later, please feel free to just send us an email. And I'll just so here are some of the important links that we went over, and I've posted those in the chat. And I also just want to give you a heads up that when you close this window, a short survey will pop up. So if you do have a minute, please take a minute to reply to the survey so that we can continue to improve the training that we offer. Um, and feed Justin back some information about SkillsBuild and how well this was received. And I just want to reiterate, Justin, that we're so grateful for this tutorial today. I know myself, I'm really excited to jump in. It's been on my to-do list to jump into SkillsBuild and start learning some things. And there's some certainly some tech stuff that I'm interested in and looking forward to being able to learn more about. As always, please feel free to reach out with any questions, everyone. You can follow us on Facebook and visit our website to stay up to date on upcoming training sessions. And I also just want to point out that our research program, Quality of Care NL, is hosting a webinar series called Healthy Discussions. And the next discussion in the series is happening on May 30th at 12:30 p.m. and it will be about successful aging. And you can register at the link you see there. And with that, I think I'll just say, thank you everyone for joining us over a lunch hour today. And I hope that you learned something. And I wish you a good afternoon and a happy weekend.